boss. There it is! Yes! Yes! Let's go! There we go! Yes! Yes!
Oh, hey. Hey. There's an
Wait.
item.
So that should be around there.
Dude! Dude! Yo! Please, somebody clip that. Oh my god.
Somebody clip that for me!
Somebody clip it.
Please!
He's just like, oh, that should be here, and boom. Master Ball.
There we go. I wanna be serious. Hold. Are you actually serious right now? Are you kidding me? The trophy's even taking the mick out Pokemon. Are you kidding me?
Down bottom, down the back. Ow, ow, ow.
I had to retreat. I was low on health.
I hear you, but I'm coming to help you. I'm coming to help you.
Yeah. There's a Dartrix down here as well as a Wartortle.
Wow.
Oh! Oh my god!
Let's go, bro!
They did not see that coming, did they?
No, they did not. Let's get their bunny here. There you go.
And then the birds as well.
Wigglytuff needs help. Wigglytuff needs.
No! No! You're kidding me! You are kidding me! But Terrakion is really bad in special defense. Oh, we do get first. Oh, almost a one shot! Are you serious? And weakness policy. Oh, that's a disappointment. Oh, it's gonna kill its own Pokemon! He's gonna build. He's gonna kill it! Is he? Please kill it. Please kill it. Please kill it. Just for a laugh. Please kill it. Yes! Oh! Oh, yes! Oh, they're gonna be cheesed for that. Are you kidding? What the chances, the timing on that? What? There it is! There's a shiny! Yes! We got it! We got the shiny! Oh my... Dynamax form. Oh, G-Max form, sorry. Yep, called it. They're gonna do Metagross. It's their only choice.
They have no choice.
But it is their only choice. They've got no other Mons to Dynamax. They've got no other Mons entirely. This is their only Mon.
Yeah. everybody. There we go. Okay, let's do this. Let's.
Galarian Moltres, you monster!
Let me guess. He wiped
He
the mob out?
one-shot the Metagross and he didn't even
One-shot.
Dynamax!
Wow. Jesus, honestly, that says something. That says a lot.
Holy... What's that thing?
Running away.
It's only one spider, jeez.
One spider means one couple of will be there'll be more.
Oh, there's another one.
See what I mean?
Look at these big spiders! Kill them with fire! Frozen says. Oh, there's a little pussycat here. Oh, somebody's clip that, please. Why are we going that way? We should go this way. Is there any places to eat? Oh, there is actually. Hold on. Ow! That is the first time that's ever happened to me. I look at the map, come back, and what happens? Yeah, I'll keep now then.
Oh god damn it! I didn't know I was gonna do it straight away.
I didn't either. I didn't either. Oh boy, that was unexpected.
I just want to. Hang on. Come on! Come on!
Come on, we don't want you locked out.
One more! Come on! Shut up! Shut up! Oh, thank you.
Why? Wish that didn't hit. Not 100% accurate, it still hits. With a dance. Please, Glaceon, if there's any time to wake up, it's now. Don't let them set up. Thank you. Glaceon, you're a good girl. Oh, we got the freeze! Heck yes! Oh, we're the Hex Gods! We are the Hex Gods!
Yeah, that's a beautiful moment. That's such a beautiful moment.
Yeah.
I can't. I should look just a tiny.
Why'd you do that?
I bombed myself and blaming Brock!
Oh,
I threw the bomb right at him and it has exploded.
Test the theory out, find out, see what happens.
There, you tested my patience.
I think you tested it.
I think this is Crawford. Hold on. He's behind me. You can just see his
Yes!
eye.
Yes! Yes!
Oh, Skillen. Oh,
are you okay, Danny?
Shiny God of War!
nice!
Mummy? Sorry.
Goodness.
Somebody clip that for me.
Wiggle faster!
I'm
Wiggle faster.
trying!
Wiggle faster! You almost got this!
Come on, you can make.
You almost...
Okay, why was that not working at all at first? I know, right? Yeah, I don't know what happened there myself either. But yeah, you made me jump with that emotional damage as I was trying to put my prescription in. Thanks for that. Oh god. Let me just make sure I put on some background music as well. I know, I just had to get the prescription sorted out with because I was trying to rush to do absolutely everything quickly as possible, so I wouldn't be like on that starting soon screen for like hours, you know. But yes, obviously, hello everybody, this is DJ Daddy 88 today. We're just going to be doing a bit of chilling, bit of talking, bit of shiny hunting. And if you're wondering why it keeps coming up with multiple messages, there's a method that you can use to actually refresh the actual mons that you get on the field. I mean, I don't want to know the number myself. I don't mind talking about the officially revealed ones, the ones that obviously the Pokemon Company has divulged the information of, like Mega Dragonite, the Mega Color Starters, etc. But like I said, I don't know anything that hasn't been officially announced, obviously, because I've been completely blind. I've not seen any leaks, I've not seen that. The only thing that I will admit that I've seen is the fact that the Shiny Sparkles and the Shiny Sound are back. I'm glad about that. And the Sparkles look like the Overworld ones for Let's Go, if I remember correctly. Just a subtle sparkle around them. And I'm like, that's good. They're walking in the right direction this time around, you know? Because, let's just say, in Scarlet and Violet, I do love the Scarlet and Violet games, without question, don't get me wrong, but it's just the fact that, unfortunately, the shiny situation was just a bit more annoying to deal with. It's not so bad on certain Pokemon, but then when some Pokemon are small, you know. I mean, you can't really blame me because I needed to know if for a fact the Shiny Sparkles were back, weren't they? And if I didn't find out they were back, I'm going to be screwed. Because that's not going to make shiny hunting easier. It's alright on bigger Pokemon, but the smaller Pokemon it's a bit more difficult to spot. But yes, let me just fly over to this destination because I want to get the shiny, what's it called? I want to get myself a shiny Gallade for Zephyr. If we found out, if we see a random shiny anywhere else, all the better. And I was wondering why there was like literally no Gallade there, even though it says we came across them. Yeah, also I said number, not which ones. Yeah, I know. Let me just make sure. The only downside is that I can't Synchro Machine outside the Blueberry Academy. I wish that was a thing, you know. It's unfair, but it's not. That would have been another great thing that obviously people would have gone for the DLC for, but what can you do? Anyways, let me just make sure that I'm right about it. Shiny, I know it is blue instead of green. Yes, I thought so. So it's obviously blue instead of green. Now let me just zoom in on that page, just so I could actually see it better, because obviously sometimes they make some of these pages a little bit too small. Let's see, I'm happy to see the number in the base game increased. It begs what is coming in the DLC. Well, we only know the two that obviously have been revealed in the DLC, which is obviously the Mega Raichu X and Mega Raichu Y. We know about those. But I'm hoping that majority of the new Megas are gonna be for Pokemon that really, really need them, you know? Because I'll tell you one thing, there is one Pokemon that I think really does need a Mega, and it's deserved one for the longest time. Mega Flygon. But whether that happens, I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing, I know one Pokemon that is never going to get a Mega, and that is of course going to be Mega any evolution, you know? No, why would I ask for a Mega from a Garchomp when Garchomp already has a Mega, you know? And I didn't even realize that these Gallade were docile. It's even creepier when you realize that they're actually the same, more or less the same height as which Pokemon? Like I say, Flygon deserves one for definite. Another Pokemon that I think really does need that Mega treatment, Luxray. Make it Electric Dark, like it should have been for the longest of time. Anyways, let me just start battling some of these once I get another thing up. Because what I do, guys, is I've got like the calculator method, you know, the 1 plus equals method. I don't have the physical calculator, so I can't really show it on screen. But I do have the one that obviously you get on Windows. The thing is, there's only so many Pokemon that really need the Mega more than any of them. But the problem is that I can't think of every Pokemon that needs the Mega, per se, at the moment. Okay, this is kind of annoying. This is supposed to be a Gallade outbreak. There's barely any Gallade here right now. I mean, as long as you don't spoil what it is, it's fine. It's like I said, I just don't want to know exactly. Because like I said, I'm trying to keep myself as spoiler-free as possible, you know. God's sake, I don't want to be talking to you, Cyril Edge. I am trying to escape. Yay. Alright. Let me just move back out, and then move back in. Okay, this is ridiculous. Wait, is Gallade a nighttime spawn? No, it surely isn't. Surely it isn't, because Rolls is a daytime spawn. That would make no literal sense to me. I know it's a night, but you don't need to give that bad pun. Jesus Christ. Right, let me just fly there and see if I can get to refresh. The only thing that would be quite funny is if it's actually in that cave that's just below me. Wow, are you kidding me? There is actually no Gallade here. What? No, it's not in the cave because obviously it's... Gee, hold on. Are you kidding? I don't see any Gallade. What the heck? Do I need to just... Hold on, let me just picnic reset and see if it refreshes them. Because if Gallade doesn't want to spawn here, then I'm kind of like stuffed on Gallade. Wow, are you serious? Right, hold on. Hang on a minute. Let me just find out. Okay. Right, so someone's just telling me to just use like a sandwich as such, and I'm like, really? Ugh, do I have to really use a sandwich to get the encounter power up? They said also keeping cliff sides just in case. But I don't see anything on the cliff except for like the pretty much obvious ones as such, you know? Oh my god. If it wasn't right here, it was actually somewhere a bit more... Did you get shiny bikes yet? They haven't been officially distributed in the UK, annoyingly. It's like I say, the problem is that because I'm doing competitive battling, I can't really legitimately get those at the moment, you know? Alright, let me just make sure I save. Yeah, I know you can through other methods. But obviously, like I said, I don't want to do it just in case, because obviously, since I'm doing competitive battling, they can ban you for whenever they want to feel like it, you know. That's the problem. Although, the fact that they haven't announced the codes at all for the UK is even more mind-boggling, you know? Because everywhere else has got them but the UK, and I'm like, why is the UK the only odd one out? And everyone's like, oh, but you surely have been checking Cerebi to make sure that they've actually announced it. And I'm like, yes, I have. The last one they announced was in Germany, which is at a Smith's toy store in Germany. Yeah, I know, but obviously, because they cloned them as such, you'd be surprised, because the cloning procedure actually can cause, what's the word, it to actually have like a specified code that Pokemon can actually see at, that you can't. And if they say, oh, this Pokemon's cloned, we're banning you from VGC indefinitely, you're stuffed then, aren't you? If you're just collecting and you're not doing competitive battling, that's a different case. But when you are, you gotta be careful of these things, because like I said, they can ban you for willy-nilly. I should know because someone got banned for having a... Well, I remember this actually. What was it? The name Ray Rizzo. I don't know if anyone knows that name in the VGC scene, but he was a two-time on the trot world champion back in like 2011, 2012, I believe it was. Or was it? No, I think it's 2012, 2013. I think it was actually. Never mind. But then he got banned from competitive battling for 10 years. Why? Because he got an Aegislash traded to him that was in a Dream Ball. That was it. It wasn't because the Pokemon was hacked or anything like that. It was just because it was caught in the Dream Ball, which was deemed illegal at the time. And I'm like, I understand if the Pokemon's hacked, but why the ball, you know? But yeah, that's what I mean. He got banned for 10 years because of that. Yes, but the problem is that they changed the rules recently to where you can get banned at their discretion these days, you know. So you just got to be careful of that. And like I say, because you got to accept terms and conditions and all that if you're doing battling, that's why I'm like, I have to recatch a lot of my Pokemon just in case. Because I've been training a lot of Pokemon throughout the years, and I'm like, I don't know which one's hacked, which one's not. The obvious ones that are hacked, obviously, I've got the websites on them, names of the trainers and such, but, you know, just those kind of things. Yeah, pretty much. But it's worse when obviously your Pokemon competitive battling, that's what I mean. Let's see. I am running out of pickles. The thing is, if you've done nothing wrong, they can't ban you so easily, you know? Because you can have that easily appealed and rectified. Okay, so I can't have sweet and sour with Mystica, so I'll just do sour and bitter. The thing is, as far as I'm aware, they're not allowed to brick your system for no apparent reason in Europe as well as UK, because it goes against consumer law. So Nintendo has to listen to that, otherwise they get fined per person affected. And it's not a short fine, I'll tell you that. This is such a weird sandwich. Would you like onions with your actual sandwich? Yeah, it's like I say, it's fair, but obviously I just don't want to be taking the risky biscuit, you know? Just to be certain. Besides, a lot of people have called out on Nintendo Pokemon Company saying that the code distribution has just been like horrific and such, and the fact that not everywhere has got them yet is actually even more horrific. So it's making you wonder if we're getting it in the UK and other regions well after a certain point, if that makes sense. Okay. Right, I know that I saved before I did the sandwich, so if it doesn't spawn in any of them, I'm gonna have to not bother shiny hunting it. Because this is kind of ridiculous. Oh my god, they ain't spawning. Well then, I'm gonna restart the game. I am not dealing with that, thank you very much. Right, what I'll do is I'll keep that calculator up just in case, and then I'll just open up another calculator ready. Yeah, but it's being rectified really quickly because they thought that that person hacked. That's why they bricked it to begin with. But obviously they have been like, it's been dealt with since then, if that makes sense. What Pokemon do I shiny hunt though? Now, I could shiny hunt either Scrafty or Crocodile. I don't know why I said it like that either. Don't need a Tadpole because I've already done that before. Yeah, but obviously due to EU law, basically, they have to actually do it within just reasons. Not just willy-nilly, because otherwise they can actually be hit with a fine. Not just the fact that obviously they have to fix the system, but they can actually be hit by a fine by the EU and all that. that's how it works, unfortunately. Obviously, if you're in America, you don't have those kind of protections, unfortunately. I'm like, should I shiny hunt that? And I'm like, but I've already got a fletchling. I can evolve that. I don't know what a shiny hunt actually now. Do a shiny... Here's the thing, I've never had a shiny Scrafty, I know that. I've never had a shiny Crocodile either. Let me just look at their shinies actually. Oh. I don't know why I said Scrafty, I meant Scraggy. It's very, very easy because it's scrappy. I mean, technically, yes. It's not easy to spot. It's a much darker colour than what it normally is, if that makes sense. But that doesn't make it any easier to notice, at least. So, I know that Crocodile is definitely very obvious on the nose. Yeah, I thought so. It's like a tan brown with yellow on it. Well, goldish yellow on it. Here's the funny thing though, I've always liked Crocodile since it was revealed. Well, since it was first in Gen 5. It was a really good Pokemon. Really good new Pokemon. But I know its stats aren't something to scoff about as such, because one, it's a ground dark type. It hasn't got like the craziest stats out there, but it's not the worst either. 519 base stats. The only downside is that because it is ground dark, it's got 6 weaknesses, but it has got 2 immunities at the same time. Also, I think it was the first Pokemon to actually get Anger Point. Well, first new Pokemon, should I say. I think, of course. I don't know for sure. I would have to check my information out on that one. You know what? Let's hunt this Pokemon. Why not? I think the best case scenario for me would be if I got like a very, very nice looking what's it called? If I got like a nice option for a outbreak for starters, that would be great. Although I've heard the rumor that they're actually going to be bringing out outbreaks for the starters in Scarvio towards the end of its lifeline, if that makes sense. Because obviously this game is not gonna be the main generation afterwards. Okay, so right. So now I can do this. I hate when it does that. Takes a moment for it to do that, doesn't it? Okay. Here we go. Now we can actually shiny hunt the Crocodile. Like I say, I'll know when I see the shiny because it's not hard to spot. And plus, Crocodile doesn't normally spawn here anyways, which is good. Oh wow, look at all those Crocodile that just spawned as soon as I move a little distance away. That is kind of actually crazy. The one thing I dread about this area, though, is the last time I was here shiny hunting, because I was shiny hunting a Snivy outbreak off-screen. This was obviously either last week or the week before. It was just because of the fact that my eye was having issues. So, obviously that's what my prescription's about, of course. So I had to get that sorted out with and such, which was not fun, to say the least. Luckily it's a hospital that specialises in ocular issues in Manchester, so it's obviously not so bad. Got it dealt with, so it's not a problem. I don't mind divulging some of this information. It's not like I'm divulging like specifics, you know. But yes, obviously I had to sort that out. That's the reason why I haven't streamed for like, what, just over a week or something like that. Just because of that. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of Crocodile here. But then again, I think it's just because of the fact that it has helped since they've actually given us a lot more Pokemon on screen thanks to this update for Scarfio. But yeah, like I say, ocular issue is being dealt with at the moment, so it's not an issue anymore. Well, it's not too much of an issue now. Still a problem because it's still obviously under prescription, but what can you do? But yeah, the fact that obviously as well we got what Legends ZA in 3 days time officially. Well, for those who are not in New Zealand, anyways, or Australia. But yep, definitely comes in Thursday, which I'm looking forward to. But obviously, since I've got the physical version coming, I obviously have to wait for that to actually be delivered to me. The hope is that it'll be delivered the day before, which means I can do the stream right after. Well, not right after I get it, as such. Well, right after I get it, maybe on Thursday if it came Thursday, but the hope is that it will be here, what, the day before if I'm lucky, but I won't play it until the actual official date, just in case, because you just never know. Well, that's not too bad, is it, if you got it for that much? To be honest, I got it, what, 52 quid? I think it was. So it wasn't, like, expensive, per se. Yes, it was expensive, I understand that, but for a Switch 2 version, it's not actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. Oh, yeah, well, if you got... Oh, wait, you may struggle then. You may struggle, because every time I've ever had a pre-order off Amazon, my stuff doesn't come until a day later. Every time. Last time I pre-ordered the Pokemon game on Amazon, it didn't come until the very next day. And I'm like, I even set a complaint to Amazon saying that you shouldn't be doing this with pre-orders. I'm sorry to say that. You should allocate them properly. That's the crazy part, though, truth, is the fact that mine was on Amazon Prime as well. They still delivered it a day late. Well, I didn't mean to do that. I'm bringing out the ball, apparently. Alright, okay, so now that we've done that, I just need to... Oh god, there's a crocodile chasing me. Right, so now I just need to move out the area. And then I just need to go back in afterwards. I swear, if one of the shinies I spot ends up being another Executor, I'll be screaming eternally. Right, I think the best method maybe actually just to do an outbreak. I mean, not an outbreak, just do a picnic reset, isn't it? Like I say, it's not hard a Pokemon to spot, it's just the fact that it's just getting it to spawn in. And that's why I just don't want to bother doing the whole, like, using the actual food item, if that makes sense. Well, picnic, this sort of items. I know another method that I can use, so I can actually help it spawn a little bit better, but it will affect majority of other, like, spawns as well. So just got to be aware of that. Oh sure, I move in a little bit and it actually does a lot more spawns in. What the frick? Yeah, I understand that. I think the only pre-order that I've never had issues with Amazon before was when it was the Final Fantasy XIV expansions. I think I remember getting Heaven's Ward. Was it on the PlayStation? I think it was on the PlayStation 4 actually at the time. Because obviously I didn't exactly use a PC at that point then. Because I didn't have a really good PC to run it. Although my PC currently needs changing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I think it's just because of the graphical update that's just caused that a little bit of an issue. And obviously Windows 10 probably not getting no support, even though the EU have made it so that they have to do more security updates for a year at minimum. You just need a 5060 Ti. That's the funny part, actually, because I've got that in mind already. Because it's not just that. I've got to get a brand new motherboard. I've got to get a brand new CPU. Got a lot more RAM and all that. I need a new PSU. So there's a few things I do need to sort out. But luckily, I'm waiting to the January sales to do that. My PC will still run Final Fantasy XIV at the moment, but there's no guarantee that it will do so once the support is like no longer there. Plus, obviously, Final Fantasy XIV has actually mentioned that. Well, they've mentioned it's Square Enix, but they don't know out of confidence if it will run well on Windows 10 when all the updates are stopped. You know. That's fair. Also, hello, Big Daniel. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I'm aware that obviously 11 and 10 are running on like the same systems as such, but obviously it's just like I said, I just need to get it all dealt with. Yeah, the thing is, it's annoying, I know, with Windows 11, but that's why I'm getting a brand new PC anyways, you know? But the thing is that I actually make sure to not let it force the updates on me, if that makes sense. I pause them for a while because I know that on day one of every like update, there's always issues, no matter what. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pause it for like a couple of months and sit and wait until they fix the actual issues, which that's what it feels like a lot of the time when it comes to like Windows in general. Oh, bugger. Crocodile ran into me. Well, at least I know this one has got Intimidate. Right. No shiny yet. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Well, you say that, but in like the last few months, my PC's decided to freeze or stop work. Well, reset itself automatically. Not because of an update or anything like that, just because it decided to do it. So it means that this PC is literally on its way out, unfortunately. Which is why obviously I'm going to get a new PC. I know what parts I'm getting for it, so that's great. Obviously if you're curious about the parts, you're more than welcome to ask what I'm going to get for it, so it's fine. I just need to get the... I just need to remember the actual thing that I've got for it, because obviously I've got certain parts for it. And the Taurus just bashed me. Right then. But yeah, I'm just waiting for like the January sales, if anything, because yes, there's the Black Friday deals and everything like that. I understand that, but I feel like the January sales will be better because it's not before Christmas. That's the thing with Black Friday; it catches you off guard. Sometimes you have the best deals in the pot world, and then sometimes you get the better deals during January because that's when Christmas is over. I mean, I'm not getting a 5090. I know that for a fact. I'm going to get a 5060 Ti, the most. I was originally going to get a 4060 Ti, but where I'm getting my PC built at, they don't supply them on that PC at all. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for the 5060 Ti, the next one up. Which I've checked, it's basically more or less the same as the 4060 Ti, so it's not so bad. Oh, yeah. Don't worry. Mine is the... You can only get the 5060 Ti in two different versions. You can only get in 12 gig and 16 gig on where I get the actual PC built. So there's no threat about that. And I've already made sure to get that one option anyways. Because, like I said, I want to future-proof my PC as much as possible. That's why I'm getting the Ryzen 7 7800X 3D CPU. I've also got a motherboard that's obviously got Wi-Fi 6 built into it as well. So that's going to be great. So I thought I was going to have to get like an internet Wi-Fi card because I was originally going to do that because my speed on my Wi-Fi is so much better than my actual landline speed. Well, my LAN speed, should I say. I might be misremembering then, because I'm sure I only saw it out of a 12 gig, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm just trying to remember actually what it was. Hold on. Don't mind that. That just popped up on my screen. Oh wait, I can't even look at the fold because it'll go onto the main screen anyways. Yeah, I can imagine. One moment while I just check actually what it was that I was gonna get. I remember sending this to somebody I know, but I might have to just scroll up a fair bit because obviously they've been sending many messages at a time, if that makes sense. So there is that factor. Oh, there we go. Got it. Okay, so if you want to ask me what parts I'm going for, I can actually now say what they are, which is good. So, let's see, the parts I shall be going for. Obviously, I'm not bothered about saying what the case is, because the case is irrelevant. I didn't mean to do that, for some reason. Uno momento, let me just... even though that's auto mod, so they can't actually have their message displayed at all, because I've obviously banned certain words. Basically, what it was just a bot that came in and just did a certain like site, which I'm like, well, I banned that one word combination, so they can't have it displayed. Only the mods can see it as such. But yeah, let's see. So it's an AMD Ryzen 7 7800X3D is my chip, my CPU chip, that is. I forgot about I'm on the Pokemon. Of course, I'm gonna have to get that to happen. Obviously, the CPU is gonna have a liquid cooler, not the whole PC, just the CPU itself. Because I've already got fans gonna be in it for the rest of it, so it's not a problem. It's just that unfortunately you can't 360 rad. 360 rad? You might have to verify what that is, what you mean. Do you mean like a CPU cooler for that, if that's what you mean? I know it's a Corsair Nautilus 360mm. Yeah, fair enough. Just needed to make sure about what you was meaning by that, because it doesn't say radius, so obviously. Keep going. Right, just 1 second actually. Let me just do one smart thing and just do what I was planning to do, which is involving going back here. I'll go back to the outbreak in a second. It's just need to get this cafe thing. Right. So motherboard is an MSI Pro B850-S with Wi-Fi 6 built into it. Even has a PCIe 5.0 in it as well, and two M.2 slots. Which obviously, before you ask, I've got. Let me have a look. Yeah, I've got 3 SSDs going to be in it. 2 are going to be M.2. One's just going to be the standard 2 terabyte. Bigger ones, you know, the big ones. You should probably aim for an X, not a B board. I'll have a look at the parts, but I can actually choose. But I've seen how good that is in comparison. It's so much better from what I've got currently, without question. But like I said, I'll check to see what other parts I could actually get for it again. If it costs me maybe like a couple more quid or something like that more, then I will do that. But keep in mind that it is a B850S, so it's not like the low scale stuff. Like I said, I'm obviously gonna get 3 SSDs, 2 are M.2s, one's just a standard. I'm getting, at the moment it's 32 gig RAM, considering 48 gig. Because you can get 48 gig RAM as well instead, but obviously that just means it's just another stick, that's all. Obviously it's going to be a 5060 Ti, 16 gig GDR7, so that's fine with that one. Getting a Corsair RM850X PSU 850 watts, gold certified. Obviously it's low noise as well. Obviously I don't need the Wi-Fi card because obviously the motherboard is going to have the Wi-Fi built in, so that's great news. The only other thing that I haven't considered yet is the capture card, if that makes sense. I am considering getting the 4K 60 capture card for my new PC, but it just depends on how the January sales pan out. If it makes it cheap enough to the point where I can get all these parts and all that for like, say, £300 cheaper. Just an example, of course. But if I can get it for like £300 cheaper, then I might just splurge out for the 4K 60 capture card. That's the one that obviously you can internally put in anyways, which is fine. Because I don't like using the external ones, because if the cables go a bit finicky, you're screwed. Be aware of the M.2 memory controller. I know that, what is it? It's readers 7250 Mbps. So it should be fine. You won't find it without some real digging. That's fair, that's fair. There's Samsung ones anyways, and I know that Samsung's a lot more reliable. I wouldn't get like just any type of like SSD. No, they have to be at least Samsung or Western Digital, because those are the only two that I can reliably use without any issues. Because here's the thing, everything in my PC, well, my SSD is literally Samsung's and Western Digital's, no issues whatsoever. Yeah, I can imagine. But yeah, at the moment that PC is rounding up to about currently just shy of £2,000. But obviously I'll be doing it on finance, so I don't have to pay it out in all one shot. But yeah, you don't have to worry about me at the moment. And we'll look into everything and such. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. I know that I've selected which one I'm going to use the OS on, so it's fine. It's going to be on the best M.2 I've got. So it's all good. Not going to use it on like the normal SSD, because obviously the normal SSD is going to be basically mostly for other things. I'm just making sure that I don't miss the shiny just in case. What's a mistake? Oh, you don't need to worry about that. I've already got it all sorted out with, so you don't need to worry about that. It's just the fact that, like I say, it's just making sure that I need enough space, you know? If that makes sense? Besides, don't forget, since I'm getting the PC built, I'm not the one who's putting it in, so there is that. And they will make sure that obviously everything's running properly before they even send it off to me. They have already guaranteed that. And plus it'll be undercover. If I had my option, I would have had a 1 terabyte and a 4 terabyte on the system. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, technically overall, just from these free SSDs that I'm going to have, I'm going to have a total of 6 terabyte. So, I don't think I'll have any issues as such. And heck, if I need to put another 2 terabyte SSD in, I can just do so by formatting the current one I've got in my current PC, because it's just filled with games. Once I get that formatted, I can just put it in the brand new PC, you know? Because then I'm not wasting that SSD, which I've got in here. Okay, no shiny still yet spawned, but it will be there eventually. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. Because at the moment, my current rig's got like, what, 250 gigabytes for my OS? Just because it's Windows 10, obviously. But obviously I know that that's getting full from the OS. So that's why I've decided to go for like a minimum 1 terabyte to 2 terabyte one for my next OS, just in case, because I needed to make sure it lasts long enough. And plus, by having these parts as best as it can be, I shouldn't have a problem if they decide to say, oh, Windows 12, you know? Oh yeah, that's acceptable as well. I just don't have like any proper external storage except for like backups and such, but that's completely different. Because most of those backups are just for like small folders. It's not like for anything crazy, if that makes sense. It's just like certain documents, basically, that I need to keep. Jesus Christ. And I thought I had enough storage. Nope, you do. The thing is, I don't mind external drives and all that, but I would never use it on like a... I wouldn't just keep using external stuff, because obviously that does have its own issues as well. The upside though is that because I've looked into like the PCU requirements of how much I would need to be used for the PC, I found out that I only need like minimum 599, I think, for the PSU, but I'm getting an 850 regardless, you know? Because my current one's a 750. It works no problems. But obviously, getting an 850 watt one will not be a bad problem. And yes, before you ask what the 599 watts actually covers, it covers the PSU. Well, it covers the the GPU, CPU, cooling system. It obviously covers the whole like RAM and everything as well. All the things like that. And it's not like I need to worry about my monitors, because my monitors don't run off the PSU because they run off their own power source. So that's not so bad. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'm assuming you've had it on finance for a while. Don't know how long you've had it on finance though. Although my finance is going to probably be at minimum 2 years to 3. It just depends on how much I deposit. Even though I've already got an idea of how much I'll deposit. Oh, it's on your credit card. Okay, that's fair. I just know that I'm getting mine through financing. Because I've checked, I'm qualified to finance on that service without any issues, because I've obviously got credit history. And obviously very good credit score as well. Which is great. That's what I want to know. Ads. You gotta love them ads. At least the ads are only 30 seconds. Don't even know how much I've got left on this one. Yeah, Sparkling Power is only level 1, but... Yeah, I didn't think you would be on the ads that long, because I've defaulted them to 30 seconds as it is. Because I'm not earning enough... The problem is, if you're earning enough money off the actual ads to the point where it's like, yeah, it's worth maybe putting 3-minute ads on every hour. But I'm like, you know... So my current PC has a 850 watt, the framework is about 400. Okay, that's not too bad then. The server, I mean. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. Though, I'll tell you one thing, I don't know what I'll do with this PC once I've actually got the new one. I've got a place where I can store the PC that I've got right now. When I've got the new one, I just have to make sure it's factory reset and everything. Which is not an issue. You have 3 stored PCs. Jesus. I did have another PC before this one, but obviously I sold it for about 100 quid, I think it was, at the time. Which wasn't that bad. Because what is it? I paid originally for it about 500, sold it for 100. I think that was a fair assumption. I only had it like about 3 years, I think it was. Oh jeez. The thing is, here's the thing as well. I don't like getting Intel cores for my CPU at all. Because, what is it? I had an Intel core on my first big PC, as such. But I feel like the Ryzens are a lot more reliable CPU-wise, you know? Oh, jeez. But yeah, I just find the Ryzen CPU so much more reliable than the Intel ones. Yeah, that's fair. It's just that I feel like the Ryzens are a bit more reliable, and they obviously are cheaper than the Intel ones, while sometimes more powerful. It's just because every time I've had like an Intel CPU core processor, ever on my PCs or laptops or anything like that, they've just been like meh, if that makes sense. But when I've had the Ryzen, no issues. And I'm not even using a cooler. Well, I'm using a cooling fan, but I'm not using an actual liquid cooler, if that makes sense, on the current CPU. It works perfectly fine. Only downside is I have to do a bit of dust blowing just to get it off the fan, but that's not a problem. I only have to do that every 1 month. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. You know? It wouldn't surprise me. Whew, boy. Right, if this shiny doesn't pop up soon, I'm gonna have to actually put an actual another sandwich up. And the crocodile ran into me. Great. I know that I've got like some food on, but you know, it's just like it's not like the best crazy one. Yeah, that's fair. But it's just another reason why I prefer Ryzen over Intel. Because what is it? I checked to see if what Intel CPU was actually equal terms to the Ryzen 7800X 3D, and when I actually checked, I found out that the Intel one that was on par with it was £250 more than the actual Ryzen one, and I'm like, okay, that just proves to the point that I think I'm better off getting the Ryzen. Never looked back since. I don't mind getting the sort of like RTX, GTX, etc., whatever it is, for the GPUs, because they're fine. I've got no issues with them. It's just that one doesn't really work for me, you know? I mean, I would wait until March, but I can't really wait that long because, unfortunately, even if it does come out, it doesn't mean that every part is going to be down in price because of the sales, you know? Well, because of the actual release of a new item, etc. That's why I'm better off getting it in the January sales, because I know what parts I'm getting, I know what I'm going to focus on, etc. And if the sales drops it by about 300 quid for the current PC that I've got built, that just says straight away that it might be worth just buying it then, you know? And then, if that is the case, I can just get like the 4K 60 capture card for the internal side of it, anyways. And then I'm good. Yeah, I should be good then, part-wise. Like I said, I might go to 48 gig RAM because it doesn't hurt to have more RAM. And I've checked, it's the same amount of PSU usage anyways from a 32 and 48 gig RAM, so it's all good. Yeah, that's fair, that's fair. It's just that if I do wait until the sale, it's not so bad. I would go lower RAM, just upgrade it yourself. Yeah, that's fair. It's fair. It's like I say, it just depends on how much the price difference is. If it's like maybe £12 just to put an extra stick of RAM in from just getting the PC built up in the first place, when I'll just do it there and then. It'll be just cheaper. But, like I say, I'll know for sure soon enough. And it's not like I can't put in more RAM in, because I did put another stick of RAM in this as well, my current PC. But because I'm getting like the... What was the RAM that I'm getting again? 5200 MTS DDR5s. They're not going to be like super cheap as such. Compared to what I've got currently, because mine's are only like 3200. Jeebus Christ. I'm surprised that we haven't got a single shiny yet. Picnic. Yeah, I can imagine they were all 16 gig. But yeah, that's the thing. If I get, like I say, if I check and the price difference is not much for a 32 gig RAM to 48 gig RAM, I'll just go for 48 gig RAM. And then if I need another stick, I can just upgrade it to a 64 gig. Simple as that. You know? I know there's another easier way, which is basically just getting like, what is it? If you got 64, you get two 32 gig RAM sticks. But, you know. I've actually checked. It's at, from what it says on the site, it's actually going to give me free 16 gig sticks, which is actually correct. That's what they've actually got for the actual site build for it. It does sound it, yes, I know, but it is the case. But you can get the sticks of RAM in packs of one anyway, so it kind of makes sense at the same time, I suppose. So they're not wasting anything. You lose performance with that. Yeah, I can imagine, but like I said, I'll find out for sure. You know, if it's not worth it, then I'll not do it, you know, simple as that. Besides, I think 32 gig RAM should be more than enough for what I need it for. It's just like I said, I need a definitely maybe consider like a new stick anyways. It's alright. What you want? Paired sticks. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. For a minute then I thought that was the shining. No, it was just the sun reflect. It was a light reflecting off of it. I have to say, people are finding out Digimon exists. I just wish they didn't do it only to spite on Pokemon. Here's the thing. I don't spite Pokemon. I don't spite Digimon at all. And here's the thing. When it came to the Digimon games, it kind of lost me with the constant Digimon World games that were just like getting different and different and different and different, to the point where it was just sometimes like, can you make up your mind what you are? Are you a slice of life simulation? Are you a dungeon crawler? Are you this? Are you that? The games that brought me back into Digimon were actually the Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth games. Would you believe? And I will be picking up Digimon Story Time Stranger as well. I'm just waiting for my Twitch payment to go through. Well, the really funny part is, and obviously this has not been like officially confirmed or anything like that. Apparently, from what I've been hearing in the grapevine, if Pokemon win with their overly broad patents against Power World. Apparently, Toei and Bandai Namco are going to go after Nintendo for patent issues against Mega Evolution because it's too similar to Digivolution. Because they both use a device to actually go up another stage, if that makes sense, but they can revert back afterwards. Just like Digivolution. So I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up happening. Although, from what I've heard, IP lawyers are actually demanding Nintendo to actually fix their patents because it's too overly broad a case. A lot of people are saying, like, if they want to make a patent, they need to make the patents more accurate. They're a bit more acceptable if they say, oh, it's got to be thrown out of a spear or orb or something like that to battle for them. That's fair. The thing is, that's the thing with, unfortunately, a lot of companies these days. They just put a load of patents down when you least expect it. Well, unfortunately, Nintendo may be in trouble if they just do it with just that specifically. Because that is going to get a lot of companies after them. Not a joke. A lot more wealthier companies for that. Because I'm trying to think. Let me just figure out one thing. So I know that they're trying to go ahead and try and patent the whole like mount system, if that makes sense. The thing is, for them to take those patents, they have to prove that they're the first to actually get the actual method doing, if that makes sense. That's the only way to make the patents legally binding. But if other companies obviously say, we've had this since this year, well before they even made their company and all that, then obviously they'll be out the shop as such. The thing is, as well, keep in mind that a majority of these cases are being only done in Japan, not in America. Or Europe, for that matter, because obviously they know they'll lose immediately. Because obviously, what was it? Pocket Pair, I think it was called, wasn't it? They are from Japan, so that's why they're being hit as such. But obviously, from what I've been hearing, IP lawyers, they're all going after Nintendo indefinitely as well. Wow, I've not seen a single shiny, surprisingly, yet. This is kind of mad. The fact that not a single shiny crocodile spawned is actually surprising now. The only thing is that I understand a lot of people are annoyed and such about certain things that have been happening, like between companies and such, but it's just like, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, this is just a constant thing from all companies, not just the one. But you got to remember as well that there are bigger companies with Nintendo out there as well, as such. Yeah, here's the thing, when it comes to like survival stuff, I don't mind a lot of it. It's just the fact that certain ones have to appeal to me, if that makes sense. The only funny part though is that what's the word? Bandai and all that. Well, Bandai and Toei, they aren't worried about Digimon being hit because they know that they'll have the biggest case against them. And plus, what's the word? Plus, obviously, there's also the fact that obviously Bandai and Toei have had Digimon way longer than Pokemon has been actually a thing. Especially for certain mechanics as such. And like I say, Toei is a very, very big company. It's got so many subsidiaries on it that Nintendo does, you know? Plus also Toei owns a lot more companies than you think. You don't think so, but it does. Also, it's one of the biggest companies when it comes to anime as well, so there is that factor too. Just a random Snivy just standing there menacingly. Well, not menacingly, you know. At all, sorry. Right, I think I might just have to use a sandwich at this rate, but I'm trying to think. What do I do? Because obviously, yeah, if I get a dark, if I put up a dark sandwich, then obviously it's just going to spawn in loads of that. Technically, though, doing it would be a bad call because there is a Sneasel outbreak there. So I could get a shiny Sneasel, but is there any other dark types that are worth it? I know there's a dark type in here, but I've already caught it as a shiny. The problem is that with that remedy is the fact that I understand both sides of the argument. One side of the argument says obviously that one side of the argument says that obviously TPC should actually take this as like healthy competition and all that, and just try and make their stuff, you know, better or feel better overall. And which everyone like, yeah, that's fair, that should be done. But because they're going after the companies and such, just because of that, instead of counting as a healthy competition, it's just like, really? The only reason why, Power World did succeed quite well is just because obviously it is just on more than just one system. It was not just on like a console, it was literally on PC, which a majority of people do have PC, so that's expected. The thing is though, a lot of patterns these days are not really looked into as such. The only reason why companies get like patents and such, it's just so that if a game succeeds, that isn't theirs or isn't owned by them, etc., then they can come after it. But the thing is, a majority of those patents aren't even viable in the US or EU, would you believe? Most of those patents are only applied in Japan, which is obviously, like I said, where Pocket Pair is located. They are in Japan. That's the only reason why there's been that court case situation. God's sake. Mind you, the one thing that does surprise me is knowing that the court case, what was it, between Pocket Pair and Nintendo and TPCI. Well, TPC, sorry, not TPCI, because they're not even involved in the case. Neither is Game Freak, actually, when I think about it. But, yeah, basically, that court case has still been going on and on and on. They're trying to actually... It sounds like it's at a standstill, like an impasse, if that makes sense. At least from what I've read up, anyways. Because there's been, like, no progression since, like, a certain points. But yeah, there's one thing I'm just like, I know that certain companies make certain bad decisions and all that, but don't just like go ahead and just say, oh, I'm not going to be like playing these games and all that, because basically you're just taking away part of something that obviously you're used to, you know? Because obviously if you say, oh, we don't like this company anymore because obviously they've done this, done that, you're basically alienating much of your childhood, basically, for game-wise and that such, you know? That's the best way I can put it. I'm kind of like that in-between guy. I'm like, yes, they shouldn't really be doing this, but at the same time, I can't really alienate stuff. Because unfortunately, whether you like it or not, there are some companies that just do even shadier practices. I would say Nintendo is not as shady. Actually, best way I can put this, Nintendo and Pocket Pair are no close to shady compared to Konami. Konami's worse. Because, what is it? This is genuinely not a joke. You can even Google it if you want to. Konami makes it so that the employees cannot state they've worked at Konami if they go for a new job. At all. And if they do say that they actually have done that, then obviously Konami said they would actually take them to law, well, to take them to court, sorry. And like, wow, that's absolutely crazy. I think it's just because of the fact that obviously from what I've been hearing, Konami's not very good with its employees as such. We know that from Kojima. Who, by the way, Kojima is still one of the best game directors in the world, without question. Yes, he makes some really weird things in games for Metal Gear. Oh, well, Metal Gear and all that, but hey, it's his art style, you know? Can't really complain. I mean, we already have that in, like, what was it, Death Stranding? Is YSNet shady? I don't know, actually. Oh, not me, sorry. I thought you were saying that to me, because I was talking about shady companies. I'm trying to remember. Actually, hold on. When I think of YSNet, I immediately think of Shenmue, by the way. I'm sure I think of that anyways. At least when it originally was the case. Isn't Larian the makers of Baldur's Gate? Oh crap, I ran into a Crocorock. Not the crocodile, just a Crocorock. I think that's what happens when you actually just like look back just to make sure. I've been, streaming for about just over an hour and a half. Well, technically. Oh, there it is! Oh, there we go. I see that. I see it. I see it. I see it. I see it. So, it took us that long to get a shiny. Holy cripe. I mean, technically, no. On Shenmue 3, they did not release it in early access per se. It was a a Kickstarter or something like that, I think it was originally. Right, just need to find out now what this Pokemon has. I don't want this thing to recoil on me. So it's level 65, it has Foul Play, Thrash, Outrage, and Earthquake. Okay, we're fine. Well, there's the Earthquake. Okay, that did a lot more damage than I thought. Right. I think what I'll do is I'll bring out my... Yeah, you're not wrong, but it has to go for the Thrash attack. Oh, he's also got Outrage as well, so there is that. But I've got two Pokemon that I can use to false swipe it. And I've obviously got Spore on this. So it's not so bad. Let's see. I think I'll catch this at Dusk Ball because there we go. There's a crit catch. Nice. Okay. There's my shiny crook. Right. Yeah, by the way, guys, this is all the shinies that I've caught recently. I think I need another box. So, yes, I do. Oh my god. Well, this is awkward, isn't it? I might need to fix my boxes a bit. Yeah, I need to fix my boxes. Technically there is an argument for the whole, like, Shenmue thing, as such. The reason why they decided to do the Kickstart, it wasn't just because... Well, obviously, what they did later was very shady, but that's a different case. But obviously, the reason why they did the whole Kickstart is because it didn't sell well back on the Dreamcast, Shenmue 1 and 2. And it was the most expensive games at that time. Which, if it owing to inflation, that would be still the most expensive games of all time to develop. The reason why they did the Kickstart originally for that, for Shenmue 3, was just because of the fact that they needed to see how many people wanted it to be out, you know, and that's fair. Because they need to make sure there's still general interest in the Shenmue franchise. Now, obviously, still people are waiting for Shenmue 4, and obviously they did one thing that was shady, which obviously it was they made an timed exclusive for about a year plus on EGS, even though it was supposed to be on Steam straight away. That's where the shady part came into it. Trust me, I feel like there are more worse games out there as such. I mean, trust me, if anything, there is 3 companies that I still deem as the worst of all time, regardless. That's EA, EA, Activision Blizzard, and Konami, unfortunately. As much as there's great games from Konami and everything, it's just the fact that it's just not because of their games, it's because of their practices, if that makes sense. Whereas with EA, it is their games and their practices. Yeah, I've heard obviously about the fact that it's been sold, which is annoying because of one reason. Because, what is it? There's only one franchise that I love from the EA franchise before they kind of made it, was Need for Speed, without question. There has been some still great Need for Speed games in the many years we've had, but sometimes it's a hit and a miss, if that makes sense. I still deem the best of all time from Need for Speed was the Underground series 1 and 2, that is, and Need for Speed Most Wanted, not the remake one, well, not the same title one, but obviously made way later on. I mean, the original Most Wanted, where it had the BMW M3 GTR in it. the one that everyone remembers these days. Right, hold on. So I've got now a shiny crocodile, so that's great. Right. So let me just figure out. So because I've not used a sandwich, thankfully, I can shiny hunt for something else. Hopefully it doesn't take us long to shiny hunt it this time around. Oh wait, that's another company that is just as bad as any company out there, Microsoft. And everyone's like, why Microsoft? Don't they make Windows? Yes, they do. But when it comes to like the whole like game side of things, they are absolutely terrible. And why do I say that? Because they always buy companies out and then fire majority of them off. And I'm like, what was the point? And yet they decide to increase the actual higher ups wages, you know? Right, I'm trying to think. What do I shiny hunt now? I swear, if I go back here and now the shiny... Well, now that the... Yeah, because it's nighttime in the game at the moment. I swear, if I go back here... Oh, wait, it's daytime? What? But it was nighttime in... Oh, wait. I kind of forgot different areas. Because Blueberry's in Unova. I'm an idiot. Oh my god, there is no... So there's an outbreak here, right, for Gallade, and yeah, I realised that, and I forgot. It was because I was at Blueberry Academy, so obviously that's why I forgot about that, if that makes sense. Well, gonna have to hold back on the Gallade for a bit then, I suppose. I wouldn't mind shiny hunting Noibat, but I'm like, I'm probably going to be able to shiny hunt that easier in ZA. You know? The fact that I can show just... Hold on, actually. Let me just do one little thing, guys. Let me just do the one little thing. Because I can't show it just in case. Because there is a little trick you can do here. But I don't want to show it just in case. Right, let me just check around. See what Pokemon have spawned in. Don't need those. Oh, typical. That one would spawn. Right, I don't need any of those. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need... The fact that that's respawned twice is actually surprising. This is green light. Oh boy. Do I shiny hunt this one though? I know I haven't got my screen up at the moment. I understand that, guys. obviously switch it in a moment. I also need to get a new intermission screen, technically. I will get one sorted out with. It's just because that's a very old one, by the way. Now, I think I will actually not shine up that one because I could probably get that one easily another time. And it's not like I'm planning to use it anytime soon. Before you ask what I was looking at, it was Swinub. An outbreak of a Pokemon that I already have gotten. Damn it. Well, I'm definitely not catching you, Snow. I've gotten you like 3 times. Ah. That might be tempting. That might be actually tempting. Hold on. Let me just switch it over to it. This one might be tempting. Umbreon. Right. I don't know if it's inside or outside. I think it might be inside the cave. Because if it's not up there, it's definitely in the cave. What? Oh, wait. Is it a nighttime spawn? Is this a nighttime spawn? Because if this is a nighttime spawn, I can't go for this one either. Because I've got to wait for the time to turn to night. Yeah, it looks like it is a nighttime spawn. Bugger! Well then, that's unfortunate. Don't need Bishop, I've already got that. Brambleghast, don't really need that. I'm trying to generally think of what Pokemon do I want to catch next. Really am. It's annoying that Umbreon would spawn now, when obviously there's no nighttime at the moment. So let me just go to that again, just while I just do this little trick. Right, so we got a cup of tea there, which technically I don't need. It's the other cup of thing that I want. Don't need Slowbro, don't need Tadbulb, don't need Ferret, don't want Illumise either, even though technically it's been buffed because it now has Prankster. Don't need Cutiefly, don't need Solosis, don't need Alomola, don't need Trapinch either. This is so annoying. Trying to get all these Pokemon to spawn in, it's like, ugh, you know? Also, I wish I could zoom out the map on even more, but you can't. Don't need Lechonk. It's a Tuddle, not needed either. I don't need Scrub, I don't need Gyarados, don't really need Kilowattrel. Don't need Tutel. Oh! I mean, that's not a bad shout, but is it worth it? Trevenant. Is Trevenant worth it? Because it's not a bad Pokemon by any means. I just know that it's not used much in competitive right now. Even though technically it's a good Pokemon in certain things, that's better in what's it called? Yeah, it's better actually in Unite than it is actually in Pokemon right now. So I think I'll have to skip that one. Yeah, before anyone asks what trick I'm trying to do. Yeah, there's a little trick you can do in this game basically that just lets you respawn like different spawns and such. It's not a cheat method, it's just something that obviously Pokemon has overlooked. Oh, don't need Fletchling. Oh no, not having Hypno. No, that's got Creepypasta on it. Let's see. I'll probably have to keep. I can keep streaming till like what, 2 o'clock, but I know that after that I'm gonna have to jump off. Let's see. I mean, that's a good one to go for, but do I shiny hunt that one for sure? Noctowl. Oh. Okay, that's just crazy. I got Noctowl and Hootle in the same area. And I got Trumbeak and Toucan in another area. What the heck? Alright, I think I might shiny hunt this one next, as long as it's not in an awkward spot. Right, let me just switch back to me in-game. Even though I know I can shiny hunt this probably in ZA, because if most of the returning Megas are back, then obviously I know that this is going to be in there. Don't mind those messages popping up. It's just what happens when you do that little trick. Obviously, this is not cheating or anything like that, as such. It's just to help respawn. What the heck is that? Oh! I was like, what the heck is that? Because you can't really tell when it's glowing like that. I didn't even realise that was there. It was a heavy slam. It's not much. There. Right. Wait, do not tell me it's on the mountain edge for the outbreak. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, it's actually... Why did they do this for the spawns every time? I hope this gets fixed, by the way, guys, down the line. Because, realistically, that is the worst possible place they can actually do that for. Granted, there are, like, many Mareep around this area, but still. That's the one thing that they need fixing in this game, unfortunately. The spawn system for, like, outbreaks is just a little bit weird. I think what's happened is basically that they're counting those as actual spawn tiles for the outbreaks, but they're not actually spawn tiles for the Pokemon itself. Because I think that's likely the case. I'm trying to think. Is there any other Pokemon here that spawn as an electric type apart from Mareep? Because if not, you can isolate Mareep here for sure. But yeah, I think I'm right in saying that the Outbreak spawn tiles are not connected to the Pokemon spawn tiles. At least as far as I can tell. Let me just make sure I save as well, just in case. I think at this rate it might be easier actually for me to get the shiny Mareep in ZA. Assuming I'm correct in saying that they actually are in ZA. Because the best way you can figure this information out is that I think the majority of Pokemon that will be in, for sure, are mostly already in the XY decks, if that makes sense. But I don't remember if Mareep was actually in the XY decks, if that makes sense. I know that there's obviously going to be some Pokemon that... Oh yeah, you're right, wasn't it? It was, wasn't it? They were actually showing it off in the demo. Well, when they say demo, I think it was the trailers that they were mostly showing it in, not the actual demo. Like, we saw the trailers literally, like, I think the one time on the rooftop, when obviously Chikorita was out, I think we saw Mareep in that menu at the time. The one thing I do have a positive on, though, is I suspect that, and I'm not saying, obviously, I know for sure, so don't tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I feel like either Chikorita is going to get a regional form with a Mega, or it's just going to get a straight up Mega, because for one, Chikorita has learnt Fairy Wind, I think it was, or Disarming Voice, whichever of the two, but it learns a Fairy type move, which it never used to learn. So either it's getting a regional form that's going to become Grass Fairy, or it's got a Mega that is Grass Fairy. It's going to be very weird for sure if it just is the Mega. But then again, since Pokemon Champions is going to be a thing, I don't think that's going to be as bad. But the one thing we have to be careful, though, is if it is Grass Fairy in either a regional form or a Mega Evolution only, I do believe it's going to be problematic because there's a poison weakness on it. A 4 times poison weakness. The thing is, from what I'm aware of, every demo we've seen involving the starters, we've been able to evolve the starters into their first stages, like Croconaw and Bayleaf, but they've not been able to do so past that. Like, the demo hard locks them into a certain level point. I mean, I understand that myself, but I'd rather be surprised if they actually reveal the regionals. I mean, let's take this as an example. When they revealed the last Legends game, we saw Dartrix, we saw we saw basically the 3 starters, Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott, but we didn't expect them to get regionals because they didn't show them having regionals at all whatsoever. They didn't reveal it until they didn't actually show a trailer of them as that until a week after the release. So it's not impossible, but we just can't be sure. But I suspect it is going to be just megas. Really do. Like I said, could be wrong, but you just never know, do you? One second, I'll just type something quickly. But yeah, it looks like I can't shiny hunt Mareep. Hey, Quivia, welcome to stream. First time chatter, I see. And I'm trying to figure out, do I want to shiny... I can't really shiny hunt Mareep, that's the problem, because obviously the tile for the outbreak and the tiles for the spawn are not linked, it seems. Doing quite well, thank you very much for asking. Just chilling, talking, obviously shiny hunting. Well, when I find a shiny that I want to hunt for. Because I've already got Crocodile as a shiny, but I haven't figured out what other one I want yet. And I don't dare go for a shiny Salandit because obviously we know if I get a shiny male Salandit, I'm screwed straight away. I hate certain Pokemon that have like evolutions based upon their gender only, you know. Unless they're easy to do and obtain, you know, that's not so bad. But when you got like Salandit, obviously and all that, that's why I don't mind it when you get a male or a female Ralts, because at least both of them can become Gardevoir, but only the male can be what was it, Glade, I believe it was, but you can do that with a Dawnstone, so it's not as terrible. So you still get something out of it, but you can't do that with Combee, Salandit. They have to be specifically female, you know, to actually evolve. And it's actually... my favourite Pokemon, Eevee, all the way. Couldn't be obvious, could it? But yeah, my all-time favourite is always going to be Eevee, no matter what. It's always going to be the case. 1 second. Actually, let me just switch over to this, and I will just quickly do the little trick. Because I know that obviously there is a little trick. So basically what this trick is, it's basically to respawn the spawns of like Pokemon outbreaks as well as actual what's the word, the Terradens and such, you know, that's basically what it is. Of course I get a Ralts outbreak, as I mentioned Ralts, it's evolution line, oh my god. That is just taking the biscuit, that. Don't need Vulpix because I've got a few of those as shiny. In fact, I got all 3 in one actual reset, picnic reset that is. So that actually did surprise me. Let's see. Let me just switch back to the game. So now I've got Murkrow that's spawned here, but like I said, I've also got the Ralts down here. If I remember correctly, down there is Fido, so that's one of the fairy types. But I don't think there is any psychic types down there, so that can be isolated. I don't know about Murkrow though. I can't tell. Is it turning dark? I think it is starting to turn dark. So let me just go down here and see. Well, down here, up there, sorry. That would be a better way of putting it. Let me just move over here. Okay, there is a dark type here. Okay. So the dark types... Yeah, there's several dark types here. We've got... Sableye... Mastiff... and Stunky. So those will be not a good choice. I don't know if there's any flying... Oh, there is flying types here. There is Staravia, so that's obviously going to be one of them. But this is a nighttime spawn anyway, so... Yeah. Yeah, all good on the lurk. Don't mind it. I don't have the lurk command, unfortunately. Right, let me just go over to the Ralts and see if I can get that. I wonder if I'll get a full odds though shiny in what's it called? ZA. That'd be quite cool. Okay, so there is Ralts here. Oh yeah, there's a lot of Ralts here. Okay, that's good, that's good, that's good. Nice to see there's plenty of Ralts. And I'm right in saying that there is other fairy types here. Wait, why do you look shiny? You don't. Okay. You ain't shiny. I thought it looked shiny because obviously slightly darker like colouring, if that makes sense. Okay, so if I want to shiny hunt this Ralts, I'm going to have to get the calculator out ready. Because I'm going to do the 1 plus equals method. Luckily I made sure to heal up my Ceruledge and all that. But I know that none of these should have recall moves. Just my Ceruledge just going around beating up Ralts. Okay. Let's see. Oh wait, I misclicked. That is not an actual Ralts. Right, there we go.
Emotional damage.
Pretty much when that happens. If anything's getting emotional damage right now, it's literally these Ralts. They're getting defeated just so I can actually get a shiny. The thing is, I don't mind shiny hunting for Ralts because I don't have a Gallade. And because that outbreak for some reason would not work properly as intended, that's not emotional, that's physical. Oh, what's an emanation Pokemon? Same difference. Right. I don't know how quick it will be when I get this shiny. You know? I don't know how quick it will be for the shiny. Hopefully quicker than the Crocodile, because I took too long on that one. For a second then I thought I saw a Dynamax freaking Hoppip. No, it was just close to my camera. I'm like, we don't have Dynamax in Paldea. We will have it in Champions eventually, but still. Because yes, all the mechanics are coming back in Champions. I was like, Cerulean Edge, attack it. Hopefully not another 1.5 hours. I've got to sort out some stuff, you know? Heck, I've still got to call my ISP because of renewals. Well, I say renewal because obviously I'm renewing my contract with them because you can do with them. From what I'm aware of, Champions will not be using any sort of method of like full-on microtransactions. They will be using microtransactions. They have explained, but it's only going to be cosmetics. It's not going to be anything more than that. Because you have to get... Because since a majority of the time you're going to get the Pokemon from the games anyways, because you're going to get shinies and all that, so you're still going to buy the games. That's why they're making Champions basically the... what's the word? It's the reason why they're going to make Champions the new, like, battle situation as such. Because obviously, that way they don't have to put it in the main line titles, if that makes sense. Because obviously, if they do so, they have to put in the Mega and Evolution and all that, whereas they can do this willy-nilly. Yeah, not directly. I understand what you mean by that. If it's certain things... If it's just cosmetics, it's not a problem, you know. That's what I think they mean by it. If it isn't, then they're going to have to be very, very careful. Because, obviously, it could end up killing competitive if they were to do that. Because a lot of people get competitive from the, you know... from the mainline titles anyways. It's like you don't want to alienate too many people, you know. Like I say, I'm holding back because I know it's a free to start thing. That's what they have explained it to be. I know what it means by that. It's the same case with Pokemon Unite. Right. I just need to take out one more Ralts and I think we'll be fine after that. I was just doing it just to make sure that enough Ralts have been defeated so that when I do the picnic thing, I can get it to spawn. So let me just go up here. Oh wait! I don't even need to do the picnic respawn. Doing. I just have to backtrack a little bit. That's all. Only a little bit, you know. Just move there, and we actually get into like what is it, the city area? Well, I say it's a city. It's more like a town or a village, whichever it is. But then that would help respawn them anyways. So it works. I'm obviously got to keep an eye out because I don't know which one's going to have a blue head and which one's not. But yeah, I would imagine that it's just going to be like cosmetic stuff. Mostly because obviously if they don't, it's... Because the thing is, when you think about it, Champions is just going to be there mostly because of the fact that, you know, people are going to get the mainline titles anyway, so the Pokemon's going to be all transferred from that, if that makes sense. And welcome back as well. So I would imagine that Pokemon Champions is going to be pretty much vital to keeping Pokemon going for the longest time. The only thing that I'm not looking forward to in Champions, Z-Stone's coming back. But, because they're bringing back mechanics, rather than actual just like Pokemon alone, I think it's going to be good because we can actually use like several different mechanics. But the problem is, well, there's one thing we
Good morning.
Yes, good morning indeed. Even though it's not morning for me. It's afternoon for me at the moment. But yeah, I always make that one the cheapest of the sound effects because literally...
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I know that not a lot of people understand where that is referenced from, which I'm understanding of that because it's quite old. But it's hilarious at the same time. Right. At the moment, if I'm accepting offers from like any artists or anything like that, I will be mentioning it officially on my Twitter and Blue Sky accounts. But at the moment, I'm not looking for any art currently because I'm more focused on making sure I buy like stuff to do content with, if that makes sense. I swear that's a shiny. But it isn't. Every time I look at Fido, I don't know if it's a flipping shiny or not. I'm not trying to swear before anyone asks. Oh, it's got Trace, that one. Huh. Interesting. Not like it really matters, because we're trying to find shinies on you. The thing is, I don't even need to check up what the shiny looks like for Ralts, because I know what it looks like. It's literally got a blue head with orange horns. That's all it is. When I say horns, it's well, technically it has got horns. It's literally got like one horn on the front, one horn on the back, which obviously go to the sides when it evolves into a Curlier. But I'll tell you one thing, it's a good thing Pokemon aren't real. Could you imagine? There are some Pokemon you will like loving the fact of having that, but yeah. I wouldn't say every Pokemon we would want. Because I don't think anyone wants a Hypno. If you've seen like the past creepypasta about it. But then again, if Pokemon were real, I would want an Eevee as a pet, with no question about it. Oh jeez, 7:38 in the morning on your end. Oh boy, how can you be up so early half the time, Drew? Unless it's like you're just waking up or you just got in from work. I don't know. Just holding back a yawn then. Now I'm curious, do I just put a sandwich or no? Because it'll help spawn them in fast. I think I will actually do that, honestly. I don't want to be sat here for like the next hour or something like that, ridiculously. Now the question is, can I do the picnic from here? You cannot. Okay. So you can't do it in towns or villages or anything like that. So I'm going to have to... Oh, wait. Hold on. Meant to save before I do it. Because if I don't save before I do it, it's kind of awkward, isn't it? You always save before you do the sandwich, guys. Because if you do so, you can actually, you know, do that, and then make the sandwich, and then it's done. I don't know why I need to remember how to make it, though, because it's literally the same thing that I used for the Gallade earlier on. The one thing I'm looking forward to is finding out if there's a method to make it shiny spawn more often in ZA, because I don't know what they're going to do. I swear, if they decide to be funny and give us croissants for the actual shiny outbreak, well, shiny improvement odds and all that, I'll be like, really? Croissants? Really? I mean, it makes sense for sure because it's a French region, but still. I don't know why, but whenever I look at those onions, I'm immediately thinking straight away they're actually just rib bones. You know, they're just the bones of ribs. That's it. Like beef ribs or pork ribs, etc. You know. Right, there we go. Before I click though, I'm just going to get a quick drink. It won't start the timer until I'm actually out of this menu, thankfully. At least as far as I remember, anyways. Although there are multiple ways you can pause the timer anyway, so it's so fine. Vote. I think I said earlier on, didn't I, that I'm hoping that I get ZA either the day before or as early as possible on Thursday. I know who I'm getting it from. It's not from Amazon, thankfully. I don't trust them. Not after the last time I pre-ordered a game off them. Right, there we go. So, let's get hunting. Right, so I don't see any blue heads, don't see any blue dabba-dee dabba-die. But like I say, we can just do that and it just helps us respawn, and we don't even have to do a picnic reset. This is actually one of the best locations it could have probably been for the outbreak. Literally one of the best things. Also, can I just say that what's crazy is knowing that a lot of Pokemon have been buffed since the last time Megas were available. Because Gardevoir is one of those, for sure. I don't know why I'm zooming out. I need to zoom in because obviously they're not that big. Because I'm trying to think of an example. So one Pokemon that has been buffed since like the last Mega cycle, I think, is being Gardevoir because it now gets expanding force. No! Are you serious? It's a daytime spawn, isn't it? Oh my giddy aunt. Well then. Right, okay. I cannot believe that. I forgot Rolls was a daytime spawn, but I thought it was going to be daytime longer than this. Nope, not the case. So that's another waste situation. So yeah, I'm going to have to just reset the game again. And then just wait until the daytime cycle, but it's going to be taking too long, so... Ooh. So, while I've been shiny hunting, I've only had one shiny today, annoyingly. But I can't say I've actually had a bad experience with shinies recently. Obviously, I plan to use a lot of the shinies that I've caught in like competitive sides of things. Well, minus these two, anyways, because obviously I was shiny hunting for that, and I got those two in the same sandwich. Yeah, that was the last shiny Ralts I got actually. But obviously, as you can tell, it's a female, which is great and everything for God of War for me, but I need a male one just as much. So, what I might do is I might just stop there for streaming for today. I've been on for like, what, 2.5 hours? Technically, minus 10 minutes off of that, so it's not been that bad. But hopefully, we'll be back to streaming again tomorrow as well. I'll be streaming practically every day this week, except Saturday, for sure. And maybe Wednesday. I don't know for sure yet. Just Wednesday and Saturday, obviously, are unlikely, but Saturday, definitely unlikely. Whereas Wednesday's a maybe, as such, just a maybe. It's just because of the fact that I'm trying to think. It's just because of the fact that since I know on Thursday I will be streaming Legends EA without question. Even if I get it a day early, I'll still stream it on Thursday. But it means if I get it the day before it actually officially drops in the UK, like official release date and everything for UK, it means I can just wake up as early as I can, make sure I get myself sorted, stream it, we're ready and all that. But if it's not delivered until the Thursday, can't do much about that. I'll just have to wait until the post has been. But that's not a problem because I'll check every like so many minutes. Just makes you wish that you had a camera in your post box, you know. Otherwise, I'll just put one there, but can't, unfortunately. Anyways, guys, I'll end the stream here because, like I said, I was going to shiny hunt the results, but because it's a daytime spawn, it kind of really sucks that. So we're going to have to do it off screen for sure. But you know, a camera in the post box, I has that. Yes, I'm sure you do, but I don't because unfortunately, since I'm in a tower block, it's harder to get it set up like that. I wish the technology was better to do that because that'd be quite good. But there's no way the connection would be spread across well, wouldn't be easily spread up as such. I would need like an internet connection on a separate internet connection on the camera to actually make it work, if that makes sense. Yeah, I can't do that unfortunately because obviously I'm not on the same floor as where the post boxes are, if that makes sense. So it's kind of difficult. Speaking of which, I'll need to check the post box as well today. Anyways, guys, gonna end the here for the stream. I can't help it where I live. Oh god. Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream here. Much appreciated for everybody, of course, dropping on by. But of course, until next time, this is DJ Danny88 signing out.